Hi everyone. This video is a review of the multiple choice questions on the review sheet. Remember, your quiz is tomorrow, and hopefully you're watching this to help you study for the quiz because you've already done these problems. So the first question is, write an equation of the line whose slope is 5 and passes through the point -2, 11. And they want it in point slope form. So what we need to remember is point slope form is y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. So then when I have a point -2, 11, sorry about that. When I have a point -2, 11, I remember that the first number is always x, second one's always y. So this becomes y minus 11 equals 5, because that was my slope, parentheses, x minus -2, which is really x plus 2. And so that is my solution. So now when I look at number 2, which equation could be described by the graph below? So when I look at this graph, I see that the x-intercept is negative and that the line's going up. So that means the slope is positive. So when I look at my choices, I'm looking for a negative x-intercept and a positive slope. But none of these equations are in y equals mx plus b. So what I want to do is I want to rearrange these. So I'm going to start with the top one. So it's -2x plus 2y equals 1. I'm going to add 2x, and that gives me 2y equals 2x plus 1. Divide by 2, so y equals x plus a half. Well, that has a positive y-intercept, so that's not my answer. Next one, -2x minus 2y equals 1. I again add the 2x, and I have -2y equals 2x plus 1. I divide by -2, and that gives me y equals -x minus a half. So while this has a negative y-intercept, it also has a negative slope. So that's not my answer. So if I look at the third option here, it's 2x plus 2y equals 1. Again, I want to solve, so I'm going to subtract 2x, and I get 2y equals -2x plus 1. I divide by 2, and I have y equals -x plus a half. Well, that's exactly the opposite of what I want. That has a positive y-intercept and a negative slope. So my answer must be the one that I can't see. So when I come back, my answer is this last one, which is 2x minus 2y equals 1. I'll show you that. Can use the hand to get more room there. So it's 2x minus 2y equals 1. So I'm going to subtract 2x, and that gives me -2y equals -2x plus 1. Divide by -2, and that gives me y equals x minus a half. So this has a negative y-intercept and a positive slope. So that is my answer. Number 3, which of the following inequalities is graphed below? So when I'm looking at this, I notice that it's a dashed line and that 0, 0 is part of my solution. So a dashed line means that it's only less than or greater than, not equal to. So when I look at my choices, I can automatically eliminate 3 and 4. So now the question is, so I can eliminate 1/2 x plus 4, y is greater than or equal to, and y is less than or equal to 2x plus 4. So now the question is, Which one of these two is it? Well, they both have a y-intercept of -2, which matches my graph. One has a slope of 2, one has a slope of 1/2. If I look at this graph, I go up 1 over 2, so that's a slope of 1/2. And if I put 0 in for y and x, I get 0 is greater than -2. So that is the solution. If a vertical line is drawn through the point 4, 2, then the equation would be, well, vertical lines go straight up and down, and they always have the same x coordinate. So that means the vertical line would be x equals 4. So Joey enlarged a 3 by 5 inch photo on a copy machine. He enlarged it 4 times. The table below shows the area of the copy after he enlarged it. What is the average rate of change of the area from the original photograph to the 4th enlargement to the nearest 10th? So when I'm doing the average rate of change, what I want to do, and I really want a place to write, so I'm going to add a cami. So adding a cami is not going to help. So what I want to do is I want to do 36.6 minus 15 divided by 4, because it's over 4 times. And actually, okay, now I have a place that I can show my work. So what I want to find is the average rate of change of the area from the original photograph to the 4th enlargement. So how I find average rate of change is that's change in F over change in X. So my change in F is from the final size, which is 36.6, minus the original size, which is 15, over the 4th enlargement minus 0 enlargement, because the original is before I did any enlargements. So that's just 36.6 minus 15 divided by 4. So I'm going to do that just on my calculator. So 36.6 minus 15 is 21.6 divided by 4 is 5.4. So the answer is 5.4. Number 6, firing a piece of pottery in a kiln takes place at different temperatures for different amounts of times. The graph below shows the temperature in a kiln while firing a piece of pottery after the kiln is preheated to 200. During which time interval did the temperature in the kiln show the greatest average rate of change? So what we want to look at is what our different options are. So it's from 0 to 1. So if I'm looking from 0 to 1, that's from 0 hour to 1 hour. It went from 200 to 700. So that means change in F over change in X is 700 minus 200 over 1, which is 500. Option 2 is 1 to 1.5 hours. So 1 to 1.5. 1 is 700 to 1.5 is 900. So I'm going to do 900. I forget I can't erase like that on here. 900 minus 700 over 1.5 minus 1. So that's 200 over 0.5 which is 400. So far, 0 to 1 is the most. The next option to check is 2.5 to 5 hours. So when I look at 2.5 hours, it's 1,300. 5 hours is 1,640. So 2.5 is 1,300. 5 is 1,640. So again, I'm going to do my change in F. So 1,640 minus 1,300 over 5 minus 2.5 gives me 340 over 2.5 which is 136. And then the last option is from 5 to 8. 5 to 8 would be 1,800 minus 1,640 This really doesn't want to write for me right now. Over 3. And when I do that, that's going to be the least amount, which is 53.3. Therefore, the greatest rate of change is in the first hour. And I could kind of tell that by just looking at the graph because that's where it's steepest. Number 7, where does the following function intersect the x-axis? So where it intersects the x-axis is the x-intercept. To find the x-intercept, we always make y equals 0. So I'm going to do 2 times 0 minus 3x equals negative 12. So that gives me negative 3x equals negative 12. Divide by negative 3, and x equals 4, which is the 0.40. Okay, so the rest of it, which is show all work, will be on the next video.